Today, we're talking $350,000 payouts. We're talking about what prop firms I'm using. We're talking about the recent payouts with other prop firms, the account sizes, how I'm trading them, when I'm trading them, and all that fun stuff right here in this video. So let's get right into it. First off, here's a certificate for $349,968. This is from one single Apex 150K account. That's right, not 20 accounts, not 5 accounts, but one single account. I know it's magic, right? But I said a couple months ago, I was like, hey, I'm going to trade one Apex account and I'm going to get a huge 6-figure payout. And I feel like, hey, 350,000, like, it's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. I know there's a lot of YouTubers out there that, pretend to make millions of dollars every day. But for me to make $350,000, where I'm at right now, after struggling with trading for so long and having the consistency issues and blowing up accounts and resetting and going through all the evals and just all that, right? I've done all that. Last year, I got a $600,000 payout with 20 accounts. This year, I was like, okay, I want to trade one account for 48 days, and then I want to see, like, how much money can I make just trading one account? So this is a 150K PA account. So I would start out with basically $5,000 in drawdown, and then I grew it to $349,000. I took 6 payouts. This is the 6th payout. The first 5 payouts, $2,750. So a little over, $365,000 total from this one single account. And the best part is, you don't have to believe me, right? You don't, because, well, the internet is a funny place. But I can show you the actual proof here. This is my actual broker, or I guess my actual account. Log in the info, and I'll even refresh it for you just to make sure that everybody's on the same page here. All right, we're here in Hawaii. As you can see, the palm trees, the shirts, the lay back there, all that fun stuff. I've had all these are like old 50K accounts that I haven't traded in a long time. They've been stuck on Trade-of-8 for a while. I don't know why they're still there, but whatever. Now let's see. Okay, so last month, trading this account, I made $131,000 in June, and with a consistency, profit win-loss ratio of 66%, 67%. Give me, we got to round up here, 66%. And if we go down, you can see kind of it wasn't a straight up move, right? I had some big moves up, kind of gave back profits, had some big moves up, gave back profits, had some big moves up, gave back a lot of profits, but we ended up at the high water mark, and that was my goal of like, hey, let's get it done, right? Let's make it happen here. You can see also, my largest winning trade, 26,000, my largest losing trade, 27,000. Something that I can personally work on is obviously cutting off my losers. I think sometimes I get a little too stubborn, and it's hard for me, like, to be like, okay, I'm wrong, right? Like, you get to that point where you're like, oh, I can hold through the drawdown because I've got a lot of wiggle room. I've got a lot of, a balance or equity in this account. So there was definitely some of that happening where I was like, in my head, I'm like, okay, I'm up 300,000 on this account. I can hold longer, but realistically, I probably should have, cut it off a little sooner there. So if we go, let's look at like May here. Just the beginning of May to June, just to show you that, hey, it's all real, right? It's all real here. Pull that up. This is for May. We made $147,000. Again, right around that 60% win-loss ratio. My largest winning trade, 58,000. My largest losing trade, 26,000. Again, average losing trade, not in line, right? My standard deviation winning trade is 3,000. Or 3,700, but then my standard deviation losing trade is 3,200. So, I can be better. Like I've already said that before. Like, I can obviously be better here and kind of do that. And you can see, like, I was actually in some drawdown at one point. We were down in some drawdown. We got it back. We grinded it back up there the end of May, and had some big kind of pushes to get it back up there to where it's at. Again, I think there was definitely some, maybe some greed, kind of going for too big of winners, or maybe holding through. I'd have trades where I was up like, I don't know, $20,000, and I would just be like, oh, I want more, right? I want more, and I would just hold the trade. I'd be up 10,000, and before I knew it, I'd be like in the red. And I'm trading 17 contracts. The 150K account allows you to trade 17 contracts, and that's exactly what I did. So if we look now, we'll go to the inception of this account. So April 28th, I think I actually started on the 25th, but for some reason it's like not loading on the 25th there. And you can see my total P&L, 310,000. Again, I think there's like, I just can't, it won't load earlier than that. I'm pretty sure I traded the like the 21st through there, but whatever. So the 28th of April and then June. So April, June, May, and 48 days of trading. That's 48 days of trading this one single account. And at the end of it all, sitting at about 62%. 62% win-loss ratio. Again, I want to make it very clear, right? Like, I can always be better, right? This is a great starting point. And maybe I'm being too hard on myself because, hey, I made a shit ton of money. But at the same time, it's like, I look at my stats and I'm like, I can be better. There are things that I can do better. I think the important thing to focus on here is my expectancy. I can bump that up, right? And that just really comes down to maybe holding winners longer, cutting off those losers, keeping them smaller, and kind of focusing a little bit more on the risk management per trade might help. With this account, I definitely was going pretty heavy with 17 contracts, just like literally put on 17, take profit, and lock that in. So again, you can kind of see the struggle. It wasn't just a linear path to where I got to. I actually was like up to like 90,000, kind of gave some of that back and then kind of grinded it all back there. So it's a battle. Trading is a battle, and I want to make that very clear. This is not like, these are not standard results. If you think that you're going to start trading today and make this type of money, you're not. I've been trading for almost 8 years now. So, don't expect to make a lot of money trading when you first start. The biggest thing for most new traders is getting to a point where you're not losing money or you're not blowing up accounts, right? And I've always been very honest about that. I've shared with you guys, like, there was points where it was difficult because I'm making a lot of money as an affiliate. I'm making like 6 figures a month as an affiliate when I first started out kind of trading futures and doing the whole prop firm stuff. So, in my head, it's hard to like be excited about making, $10,000 a month or making $5,000 a month trading. So I think I went through that. I went through that stage where I was kind of just turning and burning, turning and burning. I would get an eval, I would blow it up, and then I would just keep going. And I would just get to a point like I wanted to be back into the funded account as fast as possible. And then once I was in the funded account, I wanted to make a lot of money really quickly. And obviously this is proof that like, hey, it's not a linear line, right? You're not going to just make a lot of money every single day. I'm a momentum trader, right? So if the market's not moving, if the market's chopping, if it's in a range, why should I expect that I can have an edge in that? If my edge is trading bull flags and trading bear flags, well, then I can't trade this type of crap. If the market's not going anywhere, then don't trade it, Patrick. So that's like, the one thing that I really want to get across to people, because people always ask me like, Patrick, what strategy? I'm like, no strategy works all the time, right? There's not one strategy that always works. Certain market conditions are going to favor certain strategies, right? If you are a range trader, well, then you really hate when the market's going straight up or it's trending straight up. Whereas a momentum trader, I love when the market's trending higher because I can just look for a bull flag, and, make more money. If I go here and like we zoom out, what was that on Friday? Today is July 4th, by the way. We're here in Hawaii. Like on Friday, like this is a momentum trader's dream, right? It's like bull flag after bull flag after bull flag, and then kind of the pullback there at the top. But I mean, this is when it's time to put on size, to look for bigger winners, to hold those winners because there's momentum. The market is moving. The market has a goal. The market is, moving from level to level, and it's got a lot of momentum. So if I'm a momentum trader, I need to do what? I need to trade when there is momentum. The 15-minute opening range also, I think I've talked about that. Like, would that save me a lot of the losses? Probably. I think there's plenty of times where, I try to trade like the first 5 minutes of open, and I try to just like put on a trade. And I would be better kind of being more patient and waiting. It's hard. And that's like we've always talked about, right? the biggest battle as a trader is managing that FOMO, managing the emotions, and controlling all that. Like if you can't control those emotions, well then your account is going to be negatively affected. This is so that's pretty much my apex, right? I had a 150K account. I got the 350K payout, trading simple bull flags, bear flags, just trading momentum, trading with the trend, not fighting the trend. Don't fight the trend. If the market wants to go higher, don't try to short it. Don't be that guy. Nobody's getting an award for picking the top. The only, like I've talked about this before, the money is made, the money is made here between the bottom and the top, right? It's made in the middle. That's where the money's made. So if all you're trying to do is pick the top, what are you going to do? You're going to get blown up. You're going to get blown up. You're going to get blown up. And the same thing, if the market's selling off, the momentum, is moving down, well, then I don't want to be trying to pick the bottom. Trade with the trend. If the trend is going up, well, then your trades should be in that direction. Like my trades should follow the trend. If I'm looking for momentum to the upside, if the market's trending higher, it's much easier to wait for a pullback, look for a bull flag, and then enter a trade. I think this was a pretty good example. We'll go to like the 1 minute chart just so I can show you kind of a setup from this day. We traded on on Thursday here. Let's get rid of this. You can kind of see, right? What do? We pushed up here, and then we kind of got stuck. We started pulling back, and we tap into this. We had kind of a double bottom. We got the pivot point there. We got kind of the breakout, and then bang, 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 bang. We move up. So it's really about waiting for like that setup, waiting for something to happen in the sense of I want to see like a key level kind of get tested, right? The more patient, the more patience that I can have for like a pullback into that pivot point, and especially like kind of taking out these wicks there, that's going to save me a lot of heartache. It's going to save me a lot of trouble because I'm like, hey, I really kind of want to see either like we get a reaction off the pivot point or we take out these lows, and then I'm kind of looking for that next long up. And you can see like even when we broke out of this, we kind of formed another little flag with the 21 EMA and the 9 EMA there. So patience is your friend. If you can just kind of wait for those setups to really present themselves, you're going to really be ahead of a lot of people. Because if you're just trying to buy every little candle that goes up, you're going to have trouble because it's just, you're going to be buying overextended. You're kind of getting in, like I said, if you're not able to spot the trap, well, then you're probably getting trapped. So that's the whole kind of apex breakdown. And let's talk about some other prop firms that we kind of are trading right now and what we have going on. We can talk about Funding Ticks, which is 35% off right now. This is my Funding Ticks background where I've got my payouts. I just got 2 payouts from 2 of the Funding Ticks 0 accounts, which are basically the instant funded accounts. And I can show you here, well, I can log in really quickly and show you here now. Like this one here. All right, pull this up. Beautiful. You can see kind of where we're at with this. This is actually one of the newer ones. And then this is, I think, yeah, this is, which one? Yeah. Okay, this one is this. So we've already gotten 1 payout out of this account. You can kind of see this is the Funding Ticks dashboard here, kind of the breakdown of where we're at with our P&Ls. You can see the June P&L when I first started these accounts. Basically green, green, green. The 25% consistency rule forces you to be consistent. It forces you to kind of take that profit, to not be greedy, and then lock in those days, lock in the profits, lock in the days, and then get those payouts. Today, kind of just messed around July 4th and got a quick $133 there on those accounts. You can see kind of the breakdown. So right now we're trading the Funding Ticks 0 account, which is the straight to funded account. Basically, once you buy the account, you're automatically into a funded account. I guess like straight to funded, however you want to put it. But you're basically straight into a sim funded account, and then you start trading and you start working towards getting those payouts. You've got a 7-day minimum trading days. You got the consistency score to focus on. And, you have no trailing loss, only end of day trailing loss. So I have a $7,000 trailing, basically end of day trailing loss there. And we're actually hitting pretty good right now, 85% win-loss ratio in these accounts. And we have not had one red day yet. So I like it. I mean, Funding Ticks, kind of a big player in the Forex space, coming over to the future space now. They're 35% off. I don't know how long that deal is going to last. So if you're interested in grabbing some of those accounts, use the code PW. Get the best deals always. The other funded accounts that I have right now are these accounts. These are the Take Profit Trader Pro Plus accounts. So Take Profit Trader right now has a 40% deal going on with no fee as well. So many good deals right now in the Propfirm space. You got to take advantage of it. Use the code PW. Hey, the Take Profit Trader Pro Plus accounts, how it works. So basically you go through the eval, you then go into the Pro account, and then you get moved into a live funded account. This is actually a live funded account. And I have 5 of these, which is pretty awesome because I can copy trade all 5 of those. If you're wondering, how do you copy trade on Tradeovate? Well, look at this. Check it out. Check it out. I'll show you. You go there, you put in a copy, right? Whatever name you want, BDH. Put that there. You drag this, you drag this, you drag this account, you drag this account. Now I've got all 5 of those accounts in this group with the account group. I save it. I go up top there. I select one of my accounts, and then I go copy, right? So now I have the account group selected. I have my accounts, and we are ready to go, baby. If I put a trade on, you can kind of see, it might not work right now because the market's closed. Make sure I cancel that out so it's not there when the market opens on Sunday, which would be very bad. And that's it. You start out with 0, right? Your 0 balance. I think you have a $5,000 drawdown. These are the 150K accounts with Take Profit Trader. And they are right now sitting at about $4,700, $4,500 times 5 accounts. The great thing about the Pro Plus account is I can actually take this money out like day one. If I make money, I can withdraw it day one. It's a 90-10 profit split. I think this is probably one of the craziest leverage plays in the industry right now because I have 5 accounts to copy trade. And if I make, $1,000 in each account every day, that's $5,000. It just kind of really can start to leverage and add up and grow and become a very powerful way to trade with the leverage. And again, I'm basically paying for an eval, going through the eval, getting funded, going into the Pro account, and then getting transferred into the Pro Plus account. All right. And if we look here, I'll show you what this is all about. Let's see, maybe this week. No, this week. This week, yeah. Okay. Again, this is a live account there. You can see live funded account here with Take Profit Trader. And we have a gross P&L of $4,700. We're hitting about 94% right now. That's pretty awesome. I'm pretty happy with that. 94%. I can definitely, work on a few things. But, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm just being too hard on myself. Maybe I'm really overanalyzing this because, again, my largest winning trade is $510. My largest losing trade is $210. And we're hitting it at about 94%. Right? So, I mean, what do I don't know. I don't know why I should be ashamed of this. I think that's pretty fucking good when you look at it. And it's just been a kind of straight grind higher on this account. And it's just been growing real nicely there. Been growing and growing and moving up. So that is kind of my breakdown of the Take Profit Trader accounts. There's no trailing drawdown on the Pro Plus accounts. There is a trailing drawdown on the Pro account. So once you get put into the Pro Plus, you're basically just printing. And like I said, it's a live account. So Take Profit Trader is not losing money when you make money. So they're like, hey, put Patrick into the live account. Let him make money. We don't care because it's real account. It's a live account. I think right now this might be like one of the craziest kind of leverage plays in the industry, being able to have 5 live accounts to trade. Each account you get $5,000 drawdown to start out with. And again, it's not trailing. So right now, I've still got that $5,000 pretty much like buffer. We're going to get to a point where once these accounts are above $5,000, then my, trailing loss or the account would basically be 0. I just can't go below 0 at that point. So I feel pretty good about these accounts. I think it's going to be kind of interesting to see if I can really scale these. You know, can I hit like some $5,000 days across all 5 accounts for, 25 grand? Do I focus on just kind of hitting some nice little $1,000 days? Do it consistently, get those payouts? I mean, we'll see. You can trade some size on these too, because with 5 accounts times, I think you get 15 contracts per account, so you can go pretty hard. But again, it is a live account, so it's a little harder to get filled on that as well. So just be aware of that. Live account, not account, whatever you want to look at it. The sim funded accounts, much easier to get filled. The live accounts, not as easy to get filled there. So yeah, what else? That's pretty much what we got right now. We've got the Take Profit Trader account, the Pro Pluses. We've got the Funding Ticks accounts. We just got the big payout from the Apex account. Apex has a bunch of new stuff coming that I can't talk about right now, but I'm excited for. And I'll probably get some of those accounts when they come out. We've got the Tradeify live funded account that we still have. We're on top of the leaderboard. #1 trader, continuously on the leaderboard there. If you guys haven't seen that, it's all out there. So it is funny, man. Everybody has an opinion of Patrick Whelan, right? Everyone's got something to say. Everyone's like, oh, Patrick, he can't actually make money. All he does is blow up accounts. He doesn't actually know what he's doing. And they might have been right, to be honest. They might have been right 3 or 4 years ago. Or, 2022, 2023, maybe even 2024. They were right. I'll admit it. They were right. Maybe that's, me being humble here for the first time ever. But there was a point where I was blowing up a lot of accounts. There was a point where, I really battled with consistency. And I've talked about it before. And it a lot of times it wasn't that I was losing money, like trading how I should. It was always like the greed, right? I would make money in the morning, and then I would come back and I would continue to trade, and then I'd lose money. Like the same idea on Thursday, right? This is like a perfect example. Thursday, we get a big move up. It's beautiful. There's tons of momentum. You can make money. And then by about 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, then we start kind of going to this point. And what happens? Like I would come back, after lunch or whatever it was, and I would put on trades and kind of trade all night or whatever it was. There was a lot of just like inconsistency when it came to my trading. And I've talked about this so many times here on YouTube. But again, I know there's a lot of new people who have started watching me recently. So I do want to make it very clear, right? I have not always had this type of success. I have not always, gotten these big payouts. I have not always, been able to just like hold accounts for a longer period of time. And I want to make it very clear that like as a new trader, you're going to go through the ups. You're going to blow up accounts. You're going to go through kind of the battle of the emotions, right? It's not hard to make money. It's hard to keep money. It's hard to keep that account growing. It's hard to manage your losses. It's hard to manage kind of your overall thought process when you have that FOMO. It's hard. I mean, it's just hard. Trading is hard. It's very, very hard. And I want to make that very clear. A lot of the stuff that you see, the Lambos, the cars, the travel, the life that I live, could I have all of that just from trading? No, I couldn't, right? Because if I make $1 million a year trading, that's awesome. But I'm making way more than that as a affiliate. And I think I've always been kind of very clear about that as well here. So I don't want anybody to think that like, hey, oh my God, this guy's, he buys 20 Lambos with all of his trading profits. I buy 20 Lambos with all my affiliate profits, but I am profitable. I am making money. I am making more money than 99% of traders on this planet. But it really helps to have the affiliate income because it takes a lot of the pressure off, the mental pressure of like, oh my God, I have to get a payout to pay my bills. And again, from a person to person, guy to guy, if you're trying to start out and get into day trading, don't think that you have to quit your job, right? Don't quit your job. Don't do it. You don't have to. You can trade. You can make money. You should really, I guess, treat it as a part-time job. Treat trading as a job that you do part-time to make a little bit of money here and there. When you first start out, that's the best way to look at it. Don't feel like you have to trade every day. Don't feel like you have to pass the eval in one day. Don't feel like you have to get a payout right away. There's nothing wrong with just like kind of starting out and just consistently kind of like, growing and learning as a trader and keeping your losses small. You don't need 20 accounts. You don't need to aim for the fences. Just try to get on base over and over and over. If you ever seen the movie Moneyball, perfect example. Get on base. The most valuable player is the player who gets on base continuously. The player who gets on base consistently. Because he's moving, he's moving around, he's coming back and he's going to score. So that's it. That's all I got to say. Trading, it's really hard. It's not easy. Everything you see here is, from 8 years of just grinding and battling and fighting and going through it. It's never been simple. It's never been easy. And even today, it's still not simple. It's not easy. As much as I can sit here and give you guys all the answers to life and all that fun stuff, I think everybody's got to kind of go through their own little journey. Some people they can, really, they pick it up. They do. I've met some traders who, after a few months, they get a payout. And that's awesome. Like, I'm all like, wow, that's really cool. Like, I'm jealous. But some traders, they got to battle. It's a 3 or 4 year ordeal before they get their first payout. So first off, never judge your success off what other people are doing. If you see other traders getting big payouts, you don't know what they went through to get to where they're at. Like, you don't know my story. You don't know all the story behind the scenes, right? So I had to go through it. You might have to go through it as well. And that's life. That's trading. And trading is a lot like life. It's not easy. Every day you're getting curveballs thrown at you. You're going to enter a setup and it's not going to work. And then you're going to ask yourself, like, oh man, does this strategy work? Remember, even the best strategy in the entire world does not work 100% of the time. You see my stats. 60% of my 60% of my trades are winners. The other 40% are losers. But still, I was able to make $350,000. So what does that mean? That you don't always have to be right. You don't always have to make money on every single trade, but you need to manage that emotion. You need to manage the risk on every trade. That's the truth. That's it. If you guys haven't already hit that like button, subscribe button, we'll be back here live on YouTube, 9 a.m. Monday morning or whatever day you're watching. Just tune in, 9 a.m. for the live show. Peace to the Middle East.